Good morning, good afternoon, welcome everybody. Talos Mobius, and as always, I'm joined by Haina. How are you doing today, Haina?
Fantastic, actually, yourself.
I'm doing quite well myself. We have quite a bit to look forward to today, so I'm gonna do my best to keep us railroaded hard on the subject because, yeah, there's plenty. So, first of all, we had a double release on console, so that's interesting to put it lightly.
Oh, yes.
So I think that we're just speedrunning at this point the mobile suits that are gonna be introduced over time. So let's first of all look at the suspects of today. PC acquired the Silver Bullet funnel test type, and console acquired not only the Red Zeta, or also known as the Zeta Gundam 3P2 type, but also the Narrative Gundam. Your thoughts on those units?
Okay. For the Silver Bullet funnel type, PC's gonna hopefully have fun with that one quite a bit. For these two, Narrative is a very good kicker, roundhouse kicker. Just kidding, just kicker. And for the this Zeta in particular, very decent. Haven't fought it yet, but very decent.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a very aggressive unit, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
So let's begin by first of all looking at the info that we have. This is actually meant to be for later, so let's start from here. PC has had the recent campaign pop up, which you see right here, the recent festival, which is the current event. It was the winter event for console, but now it's out on PC as the recent festival. I hope that I'm not butchering it. Giving away for free the Unicorn Gundam to all pilots who log in during this event. Free 10 rolls for 4 weeks in a row. So every week you get, 4 10 rolls. That is amazing.
Recycle tickets or potentially better suits.
Oh yeah. New unique step-ups that we'll see afterwards with guaranteed 4 stars. New limited missions for the higher levels of existing mobile suits, such as the Ridgezid, the Gaza G, Jagan CH, and the Gazam Gunner type.
All decent suits, although I can't say much about the Gaza G. I haven't tried it out yet much.
I'd say it's a pretty solid unit, to put it lightly.
Fair.
And other than that, you get the Ranged Specialized Program, which is the ranged variant of the Melee Specialized Program, which reduces your HP by a bit, reduces your opposite damage type by a bit, and then increases your favored damage type. So ranged damage goes up, melee damage goes down, and reduced HP, but that's worth it, I'd say.
And the best part is it costs 0 part slots.
Of course, that is a fair point. That is always a fair point. 0 part slots for extra damage. Always worth it.
Yes.
Also, over 1,000 items in the recycle and DP exchange counters have had their prices drop, and some of them are even available for private second class, meaning that you can get them as soon as you start the game.
Hope you've been saving that DP.
And I hope that you're also saving up the tokens, because battle simulators are coming very soon. They're coming out on the 13th, so with the next update, along with a few new mobile suits. For those who don't know, the first one is the Xatria Repaired, but maybe a month after you might see the Awakened Unicorn. Maybe something new, who knows, depending on what they might release for PC. We might get a new AU unit.
Please, it can't come soon enough.
I know that you want the Gundam XX.
And a few others.
And a few others. So, let's look at the first drop of the recent festival. 4th step, first of all, is a half of roll. The 4th step guarantees you one of these 5 very powerful 4 stars. We have the Full Armor Unicorn, Nightingale, Full Armor Double Zeta, Atlas Gundam BC, and the Perfect Gundam Thunderbolt. All 5 of them are exceptional. There is no weak point here.
Yeah, I can attest to that, especially for the Nightingale and the former Unicorn Gundam.
All of them are absolutely stunning. As someone who has the full armor Unicorn and the full armor Double Zeta, I like my full armors, even though I'm a raid player for the most part. Seethe. The Silver Bullet final test type we've talked about. It will be in the description down below. So we're gonna skip past that. New levels for the Barzam, the High Mobility Zaku, late model, and the Zaku 2 Fritz Helm. All of them at level 4. Zibio days have started, so get your free rolls until Sunday. The Delta Kai level 1 and the overtuning range are in the recycle ticket counter. The Delta Kai got buffed just now on console and got a big hefty buff. So I'd say it's worth it even if you're gonna wait on it. The overtuning range, also worth it. And also the Galbaldi Beta Hammer build type, the Titans level 2. At this point, just grab it if you have excess recycle tickets that you want to get rid of, or preferably over 2000. And the Jim Sniper 3 mid-range support unit level 2. I'd say grab it, especially if you like support units. A lot of units had their prices in the recycle ticket store drop by a lot. Like we can see, even the Sinanju got from 700 to 500. And the Jim Spartan BD, one of my personal favorites, went to 40. Woo! Spicy. Even Psycho Frame, the level 1, went from 500 to 350 as well. Other than that, the DP Exchange got the Advanced Hazel, the Sisquid level 1 on both of them, and the Jim Custom and Jim Cannon 2, both of them at level 4. Other than that, some new units or newer units got their price dropped. We can see the new and the Sazabi dropped from 400 to 280,000, and Nariada. So yeah, the Odessa Situation Battle is also available on PC, and that covers everything for the clan match and schedule. Feel free to look for yourselves. Otherwise, this video will be too long. Moving on, we're continuing with the Spring Kickoff campaign of 2025. For those that haven't seen it, down in the description below as well, where we covered its announcements last release. Now, let's clear this. This is the Spring Kickoff campaign though, right Heine?
Yep.
Probably at the end of it, and near the start of the next month, we might see a Springtide event. Which means we might see the F90.
Yeah, that would be exciting. Really exciting.
So look forward to it. News on that at a later date. Not from me though. I just bring you the news after.
Yeah.
Zibio days on console, same as PC until Sunday. Get your free rolls. New mobile suit. Zeta Gundam 3P2. So it's a new 650 raid, ground space, right? First of all, we're gonna let it talk for itself before we talk about it ourselves. I should move this video up. There we go. Now already this unit looks like it has a lot going on for it. And you'd be right to suggest that, because this unit, while it doesn't have the most weapons in the game, it still has a lot. Let's quickly look at it, shall we?
Yeah.
So, bringing up the stats. 650 raid, 3-star, pretty tanky for what it is. You know, it's a Zeta.
Yeah.
But look at all of these stat increase skills. We're gonna go over it in a moment. First of all, it has a beam pistol that fires single shot, that is an instant, or a charge shot that, fires 6 shots, and pierces when charged. Let's go look at it really quickly over here so that you can see the stats as well. Already, you see very high melee modifiers. Both melee weapons are compatible with the aerial melee. The modifier of the double beam saber may not be that high, but 2800 on a sub weapon, that's pretty high. With a high melee power. It has a lot of builds done on the Vulcans and the arm grenades, which, if you've noticed, also stagger and they empty the clip. Very aggressive raid, very capable at range, but you want to stay more at melee. But where it all comes down to is the following skills right here. So we have already a majority of skills: Assault Booster, High Performance Balancer, Maneuver Armor, Force Injector, Melee Combo Controller, Aerial Melee System Level 2, which means that you can use your melee in the air and do more damage while in the air. Melee Battle Optimizer, being able to switch to your melee weapons from a different melee weapon faster. Double Roll, the Transformation Optimizer, Psycho Neutralizer. Now this is where the game changer happens. So, Haina, would you like to read fully what it does for me?
Of course. When at 30% HP or less, gain plus 15 range strength, 35 melee strength, 5 speed and high speed movement, negative 20% thruster consumption, all directional movement spent correction becomes 100%, negative 50% reload time, 5%, does that say overheat time? Yeah, overheat time, and plus 250% lock on time from energy Saikamu.
Yeah, meaning Saikamu weapons, obviously, it's kind of cut off there, but that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the amount of buffs that you get at 30%. Not only do you get increased damage right up there, not only do you get increased speed, you use less thruster gauge, your movement speed, your walking speed pretty much becomes faster in all directions, your reloads, all of them increase twice as fast, and it also takes forever for lock-on units to lock onto you. Now, why is that nuts, you may ask? Well, if we look at the reloads up here, which should be exactly above me, the primary beam gun that you can either instant or charge fire to fire all of the rounds and become piercing and does a lot of builds done will be reloading at 4 seconds. Woo! That's really quick. And even
quick.
Oh yeah. Even the Vulcans, which normally take a while to reload. Actually, is that time to reload? I might have just misglanced it because I was just watching people play the unit, so I may have misread the timing, I guess you could say, because I don't have the Red Zeta. I have the other boy, though, which we will be covering very shortly. So allow me to first of all ensure that I got the Vulcans right, because I just might have copied it. It might be 6 seconds, which if it is, that means that the reload time of the Vulcans becomes 3 seconds. But, yeah. If that is the case...
Oh,
go ahead.
Just saying, it's Vulcans. Vulcans very good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it is 12 seconds. Okay, I am glad that I did not miss that up. I mean, 7% Vulcans, though, that doesn't make it very difficult to work with, of course.
It doesn't. Still good.
Oh, yeah. So, also, the charge shot of the beam pistol takes 1 second to charge, which is nuts as well. So, yeah, a lot of love to this Red Zeta. Already a very, very powerful unit, if you were to ask me. What are your thoughts thus far, Haina?
Quick, agile, high firepower, may play like a hit and run, but the damage for both and quick reload seem to suggest otherwise.
Oh yeah, it will certainly be in your face often. Yeah,
fantastic striker.
Let's look at the next additions to this. I'm not gonna even include this in the video for beyond that mentioning it. The level 2 Zeta Gundam 3B plus its weapons are available in the supply drop along with the first one. And here is where the funny thing happens. Narrative Gundam, guaranteed boost supply drops. You can get the level 1 through 4 per roll, guaranteed. That is massive. So let's look at the narrative. without any packs, or also referred to sometimes as the naked one.
Yeah.
So it's a 500 general that can go both on ground and space, by the way. I should cover that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Second type bazooka, Vulcans. Aerial melee program already. Beam rifle. Beam saber. That's its whole kit. And semi-unique rarer, I guess you could say, counter.
Aerial Sparta kick.
Aerial Sparta kick is correct. Let's do ourselves a favor and look at its stats really quickly. So while it's not the most tanky unit at 500, it has a lot of health, but the resistances are on the lower end for 500s. It's not incredibly agile for its movement and boost speed. It's relatively average on those stats. Turning rate is actually on the higher end. Slots are perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
Its weapons are limited, but its skills are not. And
Yes, it does get... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it has, it is definitely no short amount of skills. I would almost call it a skill monkey.
I would call it a skill monkey, actually. Maneuver armor, force injectors, offense system, power accelerator level 2, aerial melee system, and for fun is high performance radar. Those are the most notable skills, along with obviously flight control program, anti-blast stabilizers, double roll, quick boost, leg shock absorbers, balancers, level 2 armback. You get the area. It has everything that you'd want on a general. The only thing that it's missing is if it had level 3 melee priority and assault booster, you might as well call it a raid.
Yeah. Still surprising it's a general, though.
Of course. As you've already seen, the kick that has also lunges it forward. So let's look at the weapons really quickly. It has the good old classic Gigandi type bazooka, which we all know and love. The narrative Gundam beam saber from the narrative Gundam B-packs, which we all know and love. Its own 60mm Vulcans, which have a really good build stun and a really good reload, and amazing range for Vulcans on top of good ammo rate. It has its own beam rifle, I guess you could say, as a sub-weapon, which is pretty much a downgrade version of the narrative C-packs, which has 4 rounds, 350 range, alright cooldown, on the higher end reload, and 20% build stun on top of the stagger, so landing bazooka into the beam rifle will break maneuver armor most of the time, and also the narrative Gundam blow. Now, let's look at the modifiers really quickly, and already you see that it doesn't have anything special on the bazooka and the beam rifle. The special things come in the primary and secondary, where they are relatively normal. Why would you say this is hyena?
I don't know, man. Could it be perhaps because kick go wow?
That would be correct. Its kick go wow, and also its primary and secondary weapons are worth of 650s and 600s, making its primary and secondary weapon pretty much equivalent to the Hazel beam rifle at the lower cost. So you'd have an overwhelming firepower put on a very low cost, mixed with the incredible skill list that it has, and the very high range lunges on both the beam saber and the narrative Gundam blow.
It is very good. To call it above average would be, I would guess, somewhat of an understatement. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. I'd say that it might be one of our top 5 generals right now.
Yeah.
But that covers the new mobile suits. Then we have more new levels with a guaranteed 750 roll, where you can get one of the following 4 mobile suits: the Hamahama, Dovenwolf, Hubile Mark II, and the Double Zeta Gundam. All 4 of them exceptional because 750 units are on a whole different league to even the existing 700s.
Oh, that melee damage on the Keyblade Mark II.
Oh yeah. It can certainly decimate generals at that cost.
And your leggies, if you aren't careful.
Other than that, we have the Jesta level 3 and the Jesta Cannon level 3 in the recycle ticket counter, allowing you to
The
play
bestest
them at
boys.
Of course, allowing you to play them at 700 in case you want to. Eventually, you might see them at 750 in their true final of power, where they're gonna be probably matching surprisingly units at 750, where the people see them struggling currently at 700. But who knows, everything is possible in GBO2, as we've seen from time to time again. As for the DP exchange, we have the RS Jarja, Sisquid and the Sparrow at level 2, and the Hazenthly and the Desert Zaku DR, or also known as the Desert Rommel Desert Zaku, at level 1, as our additions in the game for the DP exchange. Would you say that it is a pretty loaded week this week as well, Heine?
Nah, I don't think it's that loaded. It could be a little. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's actually straight up loaded.
We have a lot coming up, as you can see, going through a quick scroll up. The kickoff the spring kickoff campaign will be again in the description down below for those interested. And for those that want to see the console clan matches because they are more up to date, the current one is 300, but next week is a 450, which might be again not even a precursor about what's coming next, because at this point we shouldn't really expect anything and we should expect everything instead.
Yeah. Anything be possible with this team.
But I think that brings the video.
Very much so.
Before we close off, Heine, your thoughts for this week and what was added thus far?
There's a lot of stuff. Man, where to begin?
Well, which one attracted your attention the most?
I would definitely say the Zeta. That was the F2P, right?
3-2.
3-2P, thank you.
3P2, whichever.
3P2?
The Zeta, Red Zeta, call it Red Zeta.
Fair enough. Don't jinx yourself on that. This Red Zeta, definitely I found better of the bunch. So the narrative is no slacker.
Of course. I was really excited to see the narrative Gundam, and I find it really fun, especially since I got it. You might see gameplay up in the future, but right now currently. Oh, sorry.
Hey, you should have decimated with that.
I'll do my best. Right now, though, everyone on console is playing it, so making interesting and mixed matches is difficult, or making them at least unique. So until there's a better variety on matches and a bit more fun, I will be mostly trying to play other units until, the narrative craze runs out. But that should cover literally everything.
Yeah.
Thank you all for staying until the end, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
Later.